Well, I almost forgot to make a video, but I thought, oh, I better make a video. Because, right, I've got, ignore the bottle, I'm just using that for my central colour. I use my spray, actually. If I want to use my alcohol, my isopropyl alcohol, I'm going to be a bit buggered, because I'm using it for my, but basically, these are my other discs things, right? Let's just turn it over. Got my new neodymium magnets in there, the big 20mm ones. And I'll just blue tack the hard drive disk over the top so that I can make sure the magnets don't fly out. I've glued them in anyway, but and it also makes it nice and slippery so that I can put my mould, which actually rotates quite easily on there as well. It's really slippery, which is nice. And I've waxed the inside. Now, this is the actual lid. This is a new one I made. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Right. I had a bit of an accident with my other one. This is my other one I got. I actually put it in the microwave. Well, didn't microwave it. I put it in the oven at 100 degrees centigrade because the resin wasn't setting. And I melted it. You can see there's lumps and it's bulging and yeah. So that's on the scrap pile. That's no good to me now. So I actually had another one made. That's the black one. And well, that's what happened to my other one. It's just completely, warped. And the lid didn't fit properly anymore. It didn't fit properly before anyway. So anyway, right, my new one. I had this made. This is got little standoffs on it, right? Got these little standoffs. I put some little thought tip marks so I can see on the other side where they are. The idea is that it gives me an exact thickness of my magnetite and resin mixture so that when I put that in there, I put this over the top, drop it in, and I line up the move that way. I line up the pins so they're actually in between the magnets. You see, I line them so it's in between the magnets at the threshold point where the two fields cross. So that gives me the right thickness of and I can press it down with my fingers and squeeze out any excess material out the sides, and I get an exact 2mm thick disc of magnetite, polarized material. So anyway, I've got a syringe here, which I'm going to be measuring out exact amount of magnetite, which is in this container here. And I've got to put, this is exactly the right amount actually for that disc, so I need to measure it so I can make a record of exactly how much material I'm using so I don't waste a lot. Then I can actually get the right amount of hardener in, because I actually made a mistake before, because as I say, when I had to put that other one in the oven, the oven to only 100 degrees centigrade, the reason was I didn't put enough hardener in and it didn't set. I wanted it to take 24 hours, 12. I wanted to leave it overnight anyway, but it didn't work, so I ended up, it made a right mess. It just, and plus it's all uneven and weird. Well, that's why I had this disc made, so I can literally get it tuned exactly the right thickness all the way around. Anyway, I'll just pause a minute. Right, so I better have my lid underneath there in case I spill some, which I've no doubt I will. And it might be an idea to put a magnet underneath so that, let's see, get a magnet and move it underneath here, so that if I do accidentally spill anything, it will be attracted to the center of the dish underneath. I'm just going to lift this out of the way a minute. Get it right in the right place. Right, there we go. So hopefully if I do spill any, it will be sucked to the magnet. Because, this magnetite, I don't want to waste it all. Anyway, right, so I've got an old plastic fork, and I've cut the I cut the prongs off the fork so I can get myself a nice little scoop that I can use. Well, I can't do this with one hand, so I'll have to basically pause the video while I get this in there. Oh, right. Okay, well, based on the measurements, it's about 5 milliliters of powder for magnetite for what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's about, I can't really get the light on this, right? Yeah, about 5 milliliters. So, now I have to put some graphite in there, and I'm going to put about 1 milliliter of graphite. I think that's just to help to counteract the magnetic attraction in certain situations. Plus, it helps to help the material not sort of lubricates it a little bit while I get it set in the resin. Yeah, well, hopefully. I think I'll stop for a bit actually, because I'm going to have a think. Well, my first attempt was a disaster. I got it too thick, and it came out. Well, I squirted it out my syringe actually. I've cleaned it out since. I squirted it out my syringe, and I think that was a bad idea because I only got so far down, and the damn stuff started to set, and it came out like a worm. Then I pressed my mold down, and this is what happened. It looks like I squished a lot of critters. So anyway, at least the magnetite though, it's set. Let's see, let's get this piece. Well, I mean, it's a nice hard, and it's nice and flat. It's got the right shape. I just haven't got the consistency right. So it looks like another attempt. Right. Still, it was interesting. At least all of them are the same thickness. And yeah, they're very, very magnetic. So I'll just get one of my magnets. Any magnet will do. Let's see. I've only got a tiny magnet. Oh, there we go. They're very magnetic, yeah. But yeah, obviously this is no good. This is not what I wanted. I wanted a solid ring all the way around, and I don't know. I don't think I got enough material, so I'm going to have to up the stakes a bit. And yeah, so I'm going to have to mix twice as much, and well, I'm going to have to make it a little bit more fluid this time. Yeah, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I could possibly just use them and mix some more stuff in there, maybe. But I want to get this even, and it's gonna once these are released from the mold, because they're still stuck there. I'm going to end up with air pockets, you know, in between the things. I'm going to end up with air pockets. So I'm just going to start fresh and do a fresh one. Yeah, I can use this stuff for experimentation, other things, projects and things, and yeah, there's magnetic coupling and things. We'll see. Well, right, I've just had my little spacer in there. You can see the little dimples, and they're just about touching the bottom of the plastic. So I've got slightly too much material in there, so I'm going to take a little bit out. And then I'm going to mix some resin, and then I'm going to tip the whole lot into the resin, mix it all up, then I'm going to pour the resin in. Because I tried to mix the resin into the powder while it's in the mould, and it doesn't work very well, because you end up with dry spots where the resin doesn't get in, so yeah. Well, anyway, basically that's what it looks like with the magnets underneath at the moment, with the polarization taking place. So, yeah, anyway, I'll be back soon. Unfortunately, I can't film while I'm doing things, because Yeah, it's stupid phone. I need to get a tripod or something, really. I had a camera from a computer on point. My videos ended up getting too long, though. So this is probably better for you, really. I've set my resin in the magnetite, and I'm just waiting for it to harden now. I've had to go around and, while it's still soft, I've had to go around the edges, scrape off any stuff that's squeezed out, just to make sure that I can get the whole thing out, like when it's done. But basically, I think the way I do it last time is I'll just twist it slightly and push the bottom, and it should pop straight out, all being well. So I'm going to have to leave this an hour or two to harden, and I've got sample material in the container, so when that's really hard, I'll know this will be hard enough. Plus I've got some bits here I can test, see how hard they get. So anyway, let's hope it comes out alright. I hope I've got no big air bubbles. I probably have, because it's until I get the right quantity of mixture and perfect it. Like it's it's a little bit haphazard, at the moment. Trial and error, yeah. Well, my mold's not holding up too well. Well, some of the pins broke off when I was trying to release it, which is a damn annoyance. Yeah, my standoff pins, there's two of them, I lost them. So those pins, they need to be more pointy. I knew that when I was designing it, but I don't know, the guy seemed to do it that. I don't know. The 3D guy did it for me. Anyway, he made them more squares. Anyway, we're going to have them more pointy, so they can release better. Because I lost 3 of my pins, which is annoying. But yeah, the materials look. I've got an air pocket in there, but it's looking better than it. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. Just have to get this out of here now. I'm gonna have to get some silicone, I think. Probably gonna have to. You see, you need to make a silicone mold. You first need an original, a perfect original. And that's the problem. I don't have an original. That's why I'm having to make this using a 3D print thing. And then hopefully at some point I can switch over to the 3D mold technique. But for now, I still haven't got a perfect original. So I'll pocket in there. I could probably, I would have to pull this out now and fill that bit in and redo that bit. Hopefully this should be possible to repair anyway. Yeah, just by filling that area in, because it's intact, so it's not going to fall to bits. But I want to get it loosened a bit first, because it's already very tight. But yeah, it's definitely it's got some attraction to it. It's definitely attracted to magnets, and yeah. Right, it didn't come out as planned. It got jammed up in the middle of my mold, and I had a job getting it out, so I had to use my, well, you call it a Dremel, but mine's a little mini drill with a thingy on it, and I had to cut around the edges to get it out. Anyway, I'm going to have my spacer modified, because it's not working properly, because I lost some pins. So the pins broke off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a rim. I'm going to have these pins removed. I'm going to have a rim 2mm high all the way around, and on the inside I'm going to have a rim 2mm high instead of the pins all the way around. Where that way, when I put this inside the mold, it'll surround the material, the resin, on both sides, on the inside and the outside. And it will actually make it easier for me to get it out of the mould, because then it won't be sticking to the sides of the actual mould itself. Instead, it will be sticking to the sides of this ring, and the ring actually comes out quite easily. Well, there's going to be nothing to hold it in other than the base of my mould, which is going to be waxed anyway. So it will come out easily. And once I get it out, it'll be on the ring. I can just simply twist the ring and it'll all come off. So that's another improvement I'm going to make to my mould. I mean, I've thought about using silicone, but the trouble with silicone moulds is they can warp and bend, and you can often end up with a deformed result if you're not careful. And plus, the moulds, you're going to use those silicone moulds, you're going to use them so many times anyway. But the idea of this one is to use it over and over again. Well, obviously, my design failed this time because I've lost a pin there. Lost a pin here. That one's alright. I lost a pin here. I lost 3 pins. So anyway, I'm going to have another ring made, and I actually did a little bit of damage to my mould. I ended up with a hole because I had to use my Dremel thing, and I went and cut the bottom. It doesn't really matter about that because I can fill the little holes in with the resin. I can fill them in with some resin, which the other side of the wax. I've got a hole there. I actually went all the way through, but it doesn't matter. It's my mould's pretty good still. So I'll just fill these holes in there, and yeah. But still, it's all learning experience. Yeah, that's about it for now. Because I'm also working on a magnetic switch at the moment, but yeah, well, that's on the drawing board still. But it's going to work in conjunction with this thing anyway. It's really hard stuff. I mean, it's actually kind of heavy. It's like steel. I actually broke it in the middle, but I can use it. I can still use this. I can refill around it. And it's good because it's exactly 2mm thick all the way around, which is what I wanted. That was the whole idea of this mould, was to make repeatable or repetitive discs for my magnet motor. And that's what I'm getting. It's 2mm all the way around, except for the part where I missed a bit. I didn't quite have enough resin and magnetite. But it's the measurements working. Anyway, that's the main thing. It's just these stupid pins that get stuck in the material. I think there's a pin still stuck in it. Yeah, that's what it's there, look. Well, pins is in here, look. Oh well. I'll do for now. I made another one, and I got another air bubble. Right, it's stuck on my magnet right now. I've just taken it out of the mold. Let me try and get this up because it's powerful. Oh my god. There's 6 neodymiums under here and I can't move the damn thing. Alright, I've got it. Right. The bottom of the mold, the molded magnetite ring. I've got my distance right, my 2mm. Obviously the edges want trimming a bit. There's a bit of flaring on the edges. That's nothing. But I've got my 2mm thickness. And the magnetite is, you can't actually see it now because it's been squished down with my mold and with my top plate. Which is this thing, and I lost my pins. But, it's heavy. It's quite heavy actually. Well, I'm nearly there. Obviously I didn't put quite enough material in there. That's the problem. And one end's broken. But I suppose that could be repaired actually. I'm going to keep the rejects. I'm going to keep the rejects, and then next week when I get the new top plate, I'm going to trim the edges off, and I'm going to remold it and put this in the mold and get it lined up. And yeah. Anyway, but I must admit I'm not getting quite the effect I was hoping for with the magnetic field. But yeah. But that's okay, because this is part of the experiment. I mean, I've got both sides are kind of smooth now, which is what I want, and it's a process of basically perfecting the method so that I can incorporate this into my switch at some point, magnetic switch, which I've also got to get a mold made for that as well, which I haven't got yet. Obviously, I'm get this mold perfected. It will teach me a few things about the other one, about the design of the other one. Yeah. Anyway, I was talking to Heineck on Russ's chat at the moment about RWG research about, you know, free energy stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to put this video up now, I think, because I'm going to be going to bed soon. But yeah, I'm getting happier with it, because this one, let's just get the other one. Right, this one is definitely a lot better than that one, which actually broke as well, because I tried to patch that and I didn't get it lined up properly. I put some more material in and it didn't line up. I didn't get the pins lined up, and it overlaid on top, and it's all staggered. So yeah, that was a failure. But at least, I mean, I can always use this material again. I can, yeah, but that's all right. But I mean, I've got plenty of magnetite, and I just don't want to waste any more if I can help it. But obviously, this magnetite material is still going to be useful, because it means I can cut it with I can cut it more easily than I could steel, and I can use it for other purposes such as screening. Also, yeah, it's going to be useful. I'm going to find a use for it. Don't worry. So it's not like it's going to be in the bin. It's not. I'm going to be keeping that, because I've got my I've got my waste bin. Well, it's not really a waste bin. What I mean is where I put all my bits of magnetite that's rejected. I had something interesting. I had some interesting things earlier. They look like creatures. Yeah. Yeah, so it came out the swing, the syringe. I squeezed it out, and it was setting us. It was setting us. I was squeezing it, and I think it must have been the compression in. Yeah, it set it going, and oh, this is weird shit. Anyway, I'm going to put all this in there. Get that out there. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to put the lid on because it stinks if it's still setting. And yeah, this one, I'm just going to keep this one on the magnet for now, because I want it to harden straight. Because this one could be repaired. It's not too bad. So I'm going to leave it on the magnet. Right. And it will set much interestingly how it fell, because it fell perfectly perpendicular all the way around. So when I dropped it, which proves that the magnetism, it has polarized the material. And when I turn it on the magnets, I can feel it wants to sit here. When I turn it this way, I feel resistance. When I turn it that way, I feel resistance. But this feels like the trough, the bottom. So the magnetite has definitely been polarized, which is what I wanted, because basically what I'm wanting to happen is I want more magnetic field to come through in a direct line at that point than I do at the sides. I want the sides to be lulled out so that when the coils pass over, when the magnets are rotating, more energy will pass through to the coils. Then that's what this is for anyway. But anyway, I'm going to be using a switch on this anyway. I'm going to be using got to build a magnetic switch as well, which in that case the magnets are not going to be moving and the coil's not going to be moving, but yeah, different principle. But I can use this for both anyway, but I'm also going to try rotating the magnets on this one, and God, it's really stuck down there hard. Yeah, and this is my wheel for the pulse motor. I've got a whole bunch of them. Let's see. Just stick that on there. Well, there's my pulse motor. I haven't finished it yet. Still designing coils, and I've got loads more wheels. But anyway, that's for now.